It's me again. Well, I'm sorry, the light from my balcony is just really strong. So, but I didn't mean to do that. And so it is 6-1. And so I have to talk about this because it is something that is extremely needs to have a focus. There's a difference between a mutual agreement versus a relationship when it gets into romance. You can date somebody and they can do stuff for you, and you can do stuff for them. And if you're in a relationship, it's really not that big of a deal. But if you're not in a relationship and you guys do that, it can turn into a legal aspect of something, because it could turn into like prostitution and stuff like that. But there's some people who claim that they're in a relationship and they're not in a relationship. They're just being a prostitute for that individual. And so it gets confusing. And so it's challenging. And why I spoke up about this subject, and I did not want to speak up about it, is because quid pro quo, I believe I'm saying it correctly, it is a type of harassment or sexual harassment in a job, and that's usually you get something for something else, and it's usually upper management asking for something, so they will like give you something. So like they ask you for like, they're like, if you give me a sexual I will, and that is one of the main reasons why I don't like quitting my job, is so I have to start all over again with another company over this, And one thing I've came to the conclusion is, even if it's not upper management, you have your coworkers that does it constantly. It's called a finger. You have a finger problem if that's the case. But it's usually just, they call it a whole bunch of other stuff too. I really can get into it and stuff like that. And so it's really depending on how often do you want to call human resource for it and stuff like that. But people can go to jail for it, and that's my concern about the thing. And when you have somebody that's trying to harass you constantly and they can't handle the word no, or back down, or stop, or go away, and you have made it known, people do get violent, just because it's self-defense, and so that's why I had to speak up about the fact that I have only been intimate with one of my managers, and that manager still has not promoted me. I really don't get anything out of it. And then, but I also have other people who think that they can touch me inappropriately because I have become intimate with that individual. And I struggle with that, because it is seriously about that policy, that it's pro and Q, but it's quad pro Q, sexual harassment. It comes into that, and it is 2026, and I have not had to deal with that sexual harassment concerning anyone, but I as much, because that's what, when people say you need to get wet, that's usually what it means. And this is a dry year for me for the most part. I have had to, 2025, I really recommend you watching that. But it is 6-1, and People need to understand that if you do get that promotion, you might have to go to jail just because some people don't want to stay quiet. But you also have to understand that there's a way of order and stuff within that sexual harassment claim too. So people out there, take care of yourself.